SEO or search engine optimization is very, very important, especially if you own a website or you design websites, because SEO allows search engines to show your website or blog post when your website is on the internet. Today, I'm going to be talking about how Divi implements SEO with a new upcoming plugin called Rank Math. Rank Math is very powerful because it has more features than Yoast SEO. I'm sure most of you know Yoast. So Rank Math has way more features and is also free. So I'm going to show you how this integrates and how it works well together, because this integration is deep and it's really exciting for those of you who use Divi. So without wasting a lot of time, let's dive in and let me show you how to set up Rank Math and Divi and how to use it. All right, so over here I have my website. This is a plain website. It doesn't have a lot happening. So what I'm going to do here is to install our plugin. So to install it, you want to come over here to plugins, click on add new, and you want to search for your plugin over here. So I'm going to search for it. It's called Rank Math. And here it is. As you can see, this has been installed on 800,000 active websites, and it has over 2,000 5-stars. So as you can see, it's a very popular plugin and it's very easy to use. And this is why I prefer this over Yoast. I'm going to click now on install now, and then we're going to go ahead and activate it. All right, so the first thing we need to do here is to connect this to our account. So if you have a Google account, you can always connect it here. And I highly recommend you connect it because you get more features that show up when you install the plugin. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to click here on connect your account. I'm going to say activate now. All right. So now that it's activated, so what I'm going to do here is choose between easy, advanced, and custom mode. To be honest, most of your settings are going to be over here on easy because this plugin is very powerful and there's a lot to set up. So I will go with easy, and then I am going to start my wizard. So if you use Yoast SEO or another SEO plugin, so in this case, I have SEO Press, it can also import the data from that plugin that you have, which is also very good, because you can imagine trying to go and do SEO on all your existing blog posts. Perhaps maybe you have, say, 100 or 200. It is cumbersome. So the fact that you can go in and import all that data, I think is really good. All right, so let's click here on import. And this import is also quite fast, which is quite impressive. But I know I don't have a lot going on here anyway, so I guess that's why it's really hard. All right, so let's click on continue. Right, so this is where now you can decide to customize your website or customize this installation. So right now it's saying Learn-Mastery is A. So over here we have quite a few options. So if it's a business website, you can set it over here as a business website. So I'm just going to leave it here as a personal blog. And you can also upload a logo, and this logo appears when people search for your website, and in the search results it also shows your logo in there. It's just a nice thing to do and it's good for branding. All right, so moving on, I'm going to click on save and continue, but at any point you can always return to the dashboard. All right, so now it's saying connect Google services. So this is also very important because the data that you're going to get from Google can also be added onto this plugin. So I would highly recommend you do this. So let me go ahead and see how quickly I can do this. So I'm going to say connect Google services, and I am going to connect this to one of my websites here. So I'm just going to go with this one here, and then I'm going to say allow. All right. So over here we have our search console. It's advisable to go in and fill in all this so you can install your analytics code here. So let me see if I have it. In fact, I don't have the website here in my search console, but in your case, if you do have it, this is where you want to add it from here and also install your analytics code. But for this example, I'm just going to leave it as it is. We also have AdSense. So if you have your AdSense account, you can connect it over here. And but this only can be connected with the Pro account. So moving on, I'm going to say save and continue. But as I mentioned, you can skip this step or return to the dashboard. So let's continue. We're almost done now. So now it's saying my site is ready. I can go ahead and tweet if I need to do that. And I can also enable auto update for this plugin. I prefer not to enable auto update because sometimes the update can happen behind the scenes and it could break my website without even me knowing. So I'd rather go in, update it manually, and if everything's working okay, that's a thumbs up. Okay, so moving on, I am now going to say return to dashboard. All right, so we have quite a lot going on here, but the default settings are perfect enough. So if you're running a website, let's say for a local business, this is where you want to come in here and activate local SEO. And then you can go on to the settings here and set up everything. So here we have, say, your name. You have the URL. You may also want to add your email address here and phone number and the address. Now this shows up for your company or the local company that you're setting up this for. Now, as you can see on the left here, there's also quite a lot to set up. We have your social meta here. So you can add your Facebook URL, authorship, your admin, and all these things are to do with your social media. Now for the homepage, you can also click here to edit the page. Now, I highly recommend that you set up your homepage because usually you can set up your page to show up in the search results. And over here, I'm going to say edit with the Divi Builder. So what is really exciting about this integration between Divi and Rank Math is the fact that the integration is deep into Divi. So it's not a plugin that you have to install or maybe a module. So let me show you where this integration is. Now, if you take a look here at the bottom, you're going to notice that we have this icon here next to this expand settings. So if I click on it, it shows up this pop-up right here. So this is where now you can go in and start adding all the information you need for your website to start ranking. So far I have a score of 16 out of 100. So ideally you want to go through this until we get a decent score. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add my focus keyword. So this is the main keyword that you want to associate with your website. Now remember, we are working on the homepage right here. So my homepage here is going to say is going to be Learn-Mastery. All right, so you notice that as soon as I entered Learn-Mastery, my score here has increased to 73 out of 100. That is really cool. So that is looking good. Now I know there's also other areas here that I can fix, and that is focus keyword is not found in your meta description. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to say edit snippet. So I can add my title in here. Okay, so right now we have this indicator here telling us that this is not good enough. So I only have 17 characters, so I need to add more. So I'm going to add something here. Okay, so you can see my indicator here is looking much, much better. Next, I'm going to now move over here to my description. So over here on the description, I'm just going to add something close to what we have here. So you can see it's all bold in here, which is fantastic. Okay, so you can see here, I've just added a bit of a description. So that's looking much, much better. So if this was not a homepage, I could add my permalink in here and gain more marks. But so far you can see that my description is looking good. This is what it appears like when you take a look at it in your search results, when you search for, say, Learn-Mastery. So this is looking really good. I am now going to close this because I've filled in most of the things that I need to fill in. So I've got check marks here. You can see this is looking great. Now I have additional here and it says 4 errors. So so you may want to come over here and check. So it says focus keyword is not found in subheading. So these are the sort of things that I can also go in and do. And I can also see that my keyword density is very low. That is because I don't have enough description here on my page to make this really, really compete for my main focus keyword here. But my score here is looking good, and my search results here, this is what it looks like. It looks fantastic. All right, so let's close out of here. So that is how you optimize your SEO for your homepage. So it's quite straightforward. I've shown you where the integration is. So go ahead and set it up for your homepage. But most of us use SEO for our blog posts. Now, let me show you how you can do that for your blog posts. All right, so back over here, I'm just going to save this and exit. Now, on the top here, you also notice that we have Rank Math SEO. So you can go to your dashboard And this dashboard is similar to what we saw a few moments ago. So you can activate a few things here if you need to. But like I said, most of the items that we're going to need are already activated. Now, if you sell any courses, you may also want to set up or activate WooCommerce. So you may want to go ahead and activate WooCommerce, but in my case, I don't have WooCommerce installed, so this will not allow me to activate it. All right, so back over here on our general settings, let's just make sure we have most of the things that we need all set up. So we have Webmaster Tools here. As I mentioned, you may want to set it up here. We also have Analytics. So this will also show us our analytics, but you need to select your Google Analytics account over here. Now, quickly, let's go through our titles and meta, because you may want to come over here and set up all your basic settings before you get started. So this is your separator. So you can decide to either have this pipe, or you can just have a dash. So I prefer having this. Now you can also capitalize your titles, and I think this is also very important. And here you can also add your thumbnail. Okay, so that's all we have here. I am going to say save changes. Okay, so that's my global meta. So next, local SEO, that's what we've just had a look at. You can add your company details here. Your URL is already there. Our email, our phone number needs to be added, because as I mentioned earlier on, this is where you would go in and add your company details, which then show up when people search for the company details. Okay, we've spoken about the meta already, where we add our Facebook information. Now let's go to our post format. So this is where you can play around with how your archive titles show. I'm not going to go in and change anything here, but if you want to go in and take a look, this is where you would choose it, but the default here works fine for me. Next, we have our authors here, so you can either enable it or disable it. I'm going to leave it enabled. We also have miscellaneous pages. I'm not going to bother about that. Next, we're going to take a look at our posts. Now, post here is also very important, because this gives us basic information that we need, or the structure of our information. And you can see our separator is now showing here, which is brilliant. And over here, we can see that our article type is set to blog post. Okay. So moving on, we also have pages. Now, I've just given you an example of how to set up a page using Rank Math and Divi. Here we also have projects. We also have information for courses. So as you can see, this is really powerful, because your courses now can show up with the right description in Google when you search. Now this is showing because I have LearnDash installed. So if I were to disable LearnDash, you would not see it over here. And we also have steps here for our funnels, because I've got cart flows installed. So as I continue here, there's quite a lot. Now, as I mentioned, this is full of features. So over here, we also have our SEO analysis, and this can do a site-wide analysis. Now, I'm curious to see what this is going to show. So I'm going to go ahead and say analyze website. Now, I know I don't have real pages on this site, so let's see what this comes up with. So far it's giving me a score of 65 out of 100. And it also gives me what I need to prioritize to work on here. And this is my automatic updates, which we spoke about earlier on, that I do not want to set it up. Here we also have common keywords. We have SEO description, which is what I added in a few moments ago. We also need headings and so on. So as you can see, this gives you a breakdown of things that you can go in and improve. Now let's go to our blog post, and let's see how we can use Rank Math for our blog posts. So over here, I'm going to go to all posts. And let's create a brand new one. So I'm going to say add new. So my title here is going to be how to use Divi and Rank Math. So there's two options here. We can go in and use the Divi builder. So what that does is, in fact, you know what? Let's go in and let me show you what that looks like. So if I use the Divi builder, click on build from scratch. And I'm just going to close this for now. So if I choose to go this way, we see Rank Math over here. So this is the integration, but I can also use Rank Math on my normal blog posts. So let me show you how that works. So I'm going to say discard and exit. So when you take a look here at the top, you see that we have Rank Math over here. So let's say return to default editor. So if we decide to use our normal Gutenberg editor, which is what I highly recommend, because ideally you want to use a template that will then structure your website. So this is where you can add your heading. So let's add our heading in here. Okay, I've just typed in a bunch of text in here. So if you want to use Rank Math now, you can come over here to Rank Math and edit the snippet. And this is similar to what we were doing when we were working on our page. So you can start here with the title. So I'm just going to paste it in here. Automatically, we have our permalink, which is fantastic. Now I'm going to add my description. So I've just added a bunch of text here in my description. So far, it's looking great. Now let me close out of here. And in fact, before I close out of there, here we have a social tab. And this tab here, we can also add information to appear on Facebook. So you can see over here. In fact, I'll need to add my image. But this is what this appears like on social media. So if I need to add my image, I can add it over here. And it also has my title and my description over here. Okay, so I'm going to close this now. Next, I'm going to come over here. And as you can see, I have a few things that I may need to work on here. So I've got these six errors. So let's start by adding our focus keyword. And notice now my score now has gone up to 62 out of 100, which is brilliant. So I can then now go in and start working on my article. And as you can see here, my content here is saying it's 19 words long. Consider using at least 600. So this is what you need for this blog post to really compete. This is what Google likes. Okay, so moving on, we also need to add an image here with our focus keyword. Now let's see what happens when we add our image. So I'm going to come over here and add an image. So let's take a look in our media library here. So let's add this one. Let's give this a title. And the title here is our focus keyword and also the alternate text. Now you can see that our focus keyword found an image with alt attributes. Fantastic. So as you go along this, we can see that there's a lot more to optimize here. Add internal links in your content. So if you need to add internal links, we can always go in and do that. So let's say we want to link this to Rank Math. So let's do that over here. Now, if I add a blank link, I'm not sure if that's going to work. Okay, that hasn't worked. So let's have a look. Okay, so you can see here, this is updated. We also need some outbound links. So you can just continue adding all this information here to really optimize your blog post. So let's just go to elegant themes here. So let's paste it. There we go. So you can see here, my score is getting higher and higher. So all I need now is my keyword density, and my focus keyword is not found in my subheadings. So that's something that I may want to do here. But as you can see, it's quite straightforward. Now let's publish it. I'm going to publish one more time. And now we can view our post, and this post now is highly optimized and it is looking great. Now, in terms of design, I'm sure you can say, well, Mac, this doesn't look great. This is where you need to have a template, which then gives the structure of the blog post. So let's go ahead and quickly do that. So I'm going to go in here and go to my dashboard and scroll all the way down here to Divi and then click on Theme Builder. Now I have my own templates, which is called a Blogger Pro. It gives the structure of our blog post. So let me show you what that looks like when we install it. So I'm just going to come here and delete what we have. In fact, I'm going to reset it. And now let me add it. So I'm going to click on import and I'm going to search for it. I think it's in my downloads folder somewhere. In fact, let me go to my folder structure and let's search for Blogger Pro. Okay, so here it is. I need to unzip it first. And here is the file. Okay, so next I'm just going to drag it over here and import a Divi theme builder. All right, so I'm just going to hit save changes. So back over here now on my blog post, I'm just going to refresh this and look at that. How to use Divi and Rank Math. And everything is structured well. We even have this opt-in. And we have our comments area, and we also have this footer. Okay, so this is what your design would look like if you really have a nice template to make your blog post look really nice. So let's take a look and see if anything is affected here. So let's say I need to go back and take a look at my blog post. I can hit here, edit, And as you can see, my score here is still the same, and I can even add more information here without actually damaging any of my SEO. So this is how you use Rank Math and Divi. The integration is deep, and you can use it in two ways. You can either use it on the bottom of the page, or you can use it on the top right, and that is what makes it easier for you to use Rank Math. So I highly recommend you go ahead and download it. I will add all my links to Rank Math in the video description below. And if you'd like to use this template, I'm also going to leave a link in the blog post below, so you can go ahead and download it. It's only $29, I think. So once you download it, I'll also give you instructions on how to use it. It's called Blogger Pro. All right, guys, that's all I have for you in today's video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.